been thinking about the channel and the responsibility that any of us have got that are broadcasting on YouTube, on Twitter, on any of the social media platforms. And I think we've got a responsibility to the people that watch our channels. And I think the question we've got to answer is, where does that responsibility end? In other words, what we say can impact people's lives. I remember particularly when the riots were at the height, and a lot of people just stopped posting because there's people getting the doors kicked in for social media posts. So a lot of people just stopped using social media altogether. I think I said at the time, I'm doubling down on this. I'm gonna do more, not less. And I'm glad I did that. And I'm not criticizing people that didn't do that. Everybody makes their own calls, makes their own decisions. It was hardly a heroic thing, just doing a few YouTube videos. But to me, it was important to keep content going out to encourage people that were very scared. There was a lot of people terrified that the doors were going to get kicked in, and so on and so forth. The other thing is to do with the content. And one of the things, I don't care if I offend people by telling the truth. That really doesn't bother me. But if I tell the truth in a way that offends people, and it's the way I've told what I'm saying that's offensive, then I do care about that a great deal, because I do read the comments on my channel. I do take note of what people say to me off the channel, and if I say something that annoys somebody, that annoys me, and that's not and it really annoys me, because I don't want to be offensive to people who are taking time to watch my videos, whoever they are. However, like I say, if it's a message that offends, and I know it's a true message, I'm not going to apologise for that, and I'm not going to back down from that. But if I say it in a manner that offends people, then that's a completely different kettle of fish. And I've noticed by reading through a lot of the comments that people, it's not that they rely on the channels that people like me and Paul and other people do, but what they certainly do is they enjoy the content, they get a blessing from the content, they feel encouraged that they're not, that we're not on our own, that we're fighting this together. And that's what I want to continue to do. I want to nurture that. So it's getting that fine line. I'll always do my best to tell the truth and put out content that is true and is encouraging to people. But I've got to try and do that without offending people. And I think that's a really important thing. So keep letting me know in the comments what you think of what I say, because it is important. You know where I'm going at the moment. I mean, I've been going for probably 3 or 4 months in a direction of saying, look, I believe that first of all, we were talking about politics. Then we said, well, it's not just politics, it's cultural. And then we started talking about religion. And those 3 facets of what we're about, to me, are what the movement's all about. Now, a lot of people might disagree with that, but if you look at the last few demos we've had, or the last few events, they have been massive. They've had massive amount of Christian input into them, which I think is fantastic. And I wish I'd had the guts to do it back in the beginning when I first started doing this. Hindsight's a great thing, but it's great that people have stood up and there's Christian content, and there's preachers on the platform. There's people playing worship music. I think that's fantastic. There's also the cultural side of it, which we're trying to deal with the pledge, and that's going through the machine of getting it to the stage that it's agreed by everybody that's in our little group. And then there's the political side of things, and I said to you recently, I've joined UKIP, but there's other options on the plate there as well. Obviously, everyone knows that watching my channel, and again, I paid a price for this as well. I'm not a big fan of reform, but if people want to vote for reform, that's entirely up to them. This is democracy. That's what it's about. You vote for who you want to vote for. But what I think we need to do is get a critical mass. And like I say, I get a good bit of blowback for some of the things I say. And is that nice? Not really. And if I've said it in a wrong way, I'll do my best to rectify what I've said. But I think what I say, I always try and make sure what I say is true. So the politics, the cultural side of things, and the religious side of things. I remember when I started in sales years ago, I was always told never mention religion or politics. And in sales, I've always done my best to avoid that. So unless people tune into my YouTube channel or have seen me standing on platforms with Tommy Robinson, not many people that I do business with know my politics, because I just don't talk about it when I'm doing business. But in public discourse and on these channels, that's what they're there for. They're there to discuss religion. They're there to discuss politics. Even the difficult issues, which I dealt with yesterday and I dealt with again today, they've got to be spoken about. And I'm not doing it to offend anybody. I'm not attacking anybody. I'm saying these things because I believe they're important and the things that I believe in. And of course, you've every right to disagree with me. And I get loads of comments in the comments saying that they don't agree with me. That's absolutely fine. That's what democracy is about. That's what freedom of speech is about. But I can't not say things that I believe in. And if people think I'm crazy, people think I'm a fanatic, I don't really care, because I am crazy and I am a fanatic, and I'll wear those badges with honour. But I also believe what I'm saying is absolutely true. So anyway, I'm not sure what I'm going to call this video, but it's just really to let people know that I'm not going out there deliberately to ruffle people's feathers. I'm going out there to tell what I believe is the truth and to say it with sincerity. And if people don't like that, that's fine. But the reality is I'm not going to stop doing it. I've got to say what I believe, and I'll continue to do that as long as I've got the channel. And obviously, who knows what's going to happen with Two-Tier Keir and his new internet harms legislation. But for goodness sake, we shouldn't start censoring ourselves within our movement. That's crazy. Anyway, see you all soon.